After the Prime Minister accused Sir Olly Robbins yesterday of a cover-up over Lord Mandelson's vetting, today the sacked civil servant got his chance to respond. Sir Olly Robbins said when he arrived in his job at the Foreign Office, Number 10 had been pushing very hard for a fast sign-off for Peter Mandelson's appointment as ambassador to Washington.
The direct written pressure was get this done and get it done before inauguration. My office, the Foreign Secretary's office, were under constant pressure. There was an atmosphere of constant chasing.
Only yesterday, Keir Starmer said he was outraged that Olly Robbins had not told him about the UK security vetting team recommendation on Peter Mandelson.
If I had known before he took up his post that UK SV recommendation was that developed vetting clearance should be denied, I would not have gone ahead with the appointment.
Olly Robbins said 14 months ago at the top of government they seemed keen to skip developed vetting, or DV, altogether.
A position taken from the Cabinet Office was that there was no need to vet Mandelson. He was a member of the House of Lords, he was a Privy Councillor, there was an atmosphere of pressure and a certain dismissiveness about this DV process.
Sir Olly Robbins said even as vetting proceeded, Lord Mandelson was getting access to the Foreign Office and some highly classified briefings. When vetting was completed, Sir Olly Robbins was not shown the two ticked red boxes on the UK security vetting documents marked high concern and clearance denied, but instead given a very different verbal briefing.
UKSV do not deny clearance in the Foreign Office. They make findings and they make a recommendation. I was told that that recommendation was that they, quotes, lent against, and it was a borderline case.
That, the former civil servant said, was how things were done in the Foreign Office. The Prime Minister demanding he should have been told and that the vetting process should now be radically changed was a serious error of judgment.
I believe that's a misunderstanding and a dangerous misunderstanding of the necessity of confidentiality of the process.
Olly Robbins revealed that Number 10, a year ago, when it was secretly planning to sack Matt Doyle as Director of Communications, asked the head of the Foreign Office to find him an ambassadorship as a consolation prize.
There were several discussions initiated by Number 10 with me about potentially finding a head of mission opportunity for Matthew Doyle, who was then the Prime Minister's Director of Communications. I was under strict instruction not to discuss that with the then Foreign Secretary, which was uncomfortable. I found it very hard to think how I would explain to the office what the credentials of Matthew were to be in an important head of mission role.
I'm speaking to you from the ambassador's residence.
Olly Robbins said Downing Street also tried to get Matthew Doyle a job in the Washington embassy under Peter Mandelson. At one point explaining why he didn't want to name other officials. With one word he let slip how he thinks he's been treated.
One scapegoat for this is enough.
Keir Starmer at the British Museum today on the 100th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's birth. Knows more Select Committee witnesses, Whitehall documents and phone messages will bring the Mandelson saga back again and again. Resuming tomorrow with Prime Minister's Questions.